Well, hello there everyone, welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. In the words of Monty Python, now for something completely different. So this is a route learning video. Today we are here at we're near Saint Denis in Bournemouth, correction, Southampton, and we're going to be driving down to Bournemouth. This is the Gold Star Trains MPV, multiple purpose vehicle, and we're going to be driving it from here. I'll show you exactly where we are. We are at Northam Depot, so you can even have a look inside the depot and see that there are actually trains here. It's a depot and Ting. We're here at Northam. We're going to be driving through to Bournemouth. This is a train 6 Bravo 39, the 1125 Eastleigh Works to Bournemouth service. So what we're going to do is turn our master key on, set a reverse to neutral and clear the AWS self-test. I'm going to wait for the GSMR to start up. We are against a red signal, so we'll leave our DRA set, because that is part of the cab setup on this train. I'm also going to turn the tail lamps off. I'm going to turn my headlights on. I'm going to turn them into the day position, which is what they're in now, you can see. And this train is on its way to Bournemouth to have its tyres turned, which is a real procedure, so that's going to be cool, I guess. So now that the GSMR has started, we're going to press the registration button. And we are train 6 Bravo 39, and we are against signal Echo 711, which will be Eastleigh signal box 711. And we'll accept that, and then that's going to be registered for us now. So there are a couple of minor feedback points I've got. I've driven this a little bit already. The performance doesn't feel 100% right. What do I mean by that? The train feels very slow accelerating. You'll see that when we move off. Actually, one thing I can do is set my train brake. I'm just going to use the key command there to release my handbrake. So you can see we're now being held with our brake. So looking around the cab, like I say, there's that, and also when you click the GSMR, there's no sound, which is a bit of a shame. Now this is quite an expensive pack at £21.99. The window's open again, but again there's no difference in the sound with the cab doors open or anything like that. It's really nice that we have those features, but it just a bit of polish in the form of the the audio changing would be immense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up the manual so we can read through that on our drive today, keeping an eye on the signal as I do so. On track plant. So this is available from the Alan Thompson Sim webpage under Alan Thompson Sim under rolling stock, and it's under on track plant. Take me a moment to locate it. If I do price high to low, that should help. Price high to low. So comparatively, without a subscription, which I don't currently own, this is an brake sorry, I just can't breathe all of a sudden. This is a £21.99 add-on, so exactly the same price as the S7 Plus One for the S7 Plus One from Just Trains, which, to be honest, that's a better train in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to give too much, criticism at this stage. We've got a single, so we can proceed. Start speed's 25. You can see it takes ages for this little thing to rev up, and you can see we pull away incredibly slowly. So I'm just going to eat that over there, and then I'm just going to... No, you guys can't actually hear the game audio unless I do that. So that's another part of it, is we are in the driven end, so one end is driven, one end is not. We are in the driven end. I changed the scenario around so we would be in the driven end to get a bit more of the audio. But you can see I've got to turn my game audio up really high for you guys to be able to see that. Like, my game audio is as high as my mic level, which it normally isn't. We've also got a two-tone horn controlled by the spacebar and the B key. Ear defenders on, folks. Also, my favourite part of this, so you've got your horn there, and you've also got your beeper. That comes across Country Voyager. So you can see that train is going into Northam. It's just going to go up there, change ends and go down. So just going to build a bit of speed up and just cruise in to Southampton. Now I'm not going to be going too aggressively because I know there's a passenger train in front of us which is going to get let out, which will, well, I know from my own route knowledge that that train is going to be bound for Bournemouth. And even though we're on proceed aspects, that train will be released before us. So just let the RPMs drop off. So yes, I'm drinking a Monster whilst I drive today. And I moved my head too far back when I was doing that because something's going in my nose, and that's really unpleasant. But any hoozle. Like I say, hopefully you guys are doing wonderfully well. So yeah, like I say, we'll do a features talk through on this train when we basically. I know cause once we leave Southampton, we're going to have about 40 minutes of cruise time, so I'd rather just do it then. So the multi-purpose vehicles, or MPV, is a purpose-built departmental derivative of a diesel multiple unit. 25 two-car units were ordered by Railtrack to enable it to replace its varied collection of aging departmental vehicles, many of which were converted from redundant passenger stock. The vehicles were built in Germany by Windhoff, the design based on the Windhoff cargo sprinter units that are operated by Deutsche Bahn and CRT Group in Australia. Normally a unit consists of one powered vehicle fitted with a twin 265 kilovolts, 355 brake horse rail pack diesel, semi-permanently coupled to an unpowered slave unit without engines. The lately orders for the southeast of England are instead composed of two powered units to give better acceleration and top speed. When first built, there were problems with the vehicles being out of gauge when running empty. So you can see we're going to overtake that 444 here, and he's going to be right out in front of us. So we're already against a double amber. So I can ignore that. Is I think a bug where I can acknowledge that as soon as it comes, as soon as the light comes on. I don't have to wait for the horn. Like I say, we're just going to coast for now. Our line speed here goes up to 60, but there's no point. Like I say, we'll go up to about 45 and have to slow down. It's just a waste of diesel. The concept of the design is that each vehicle has a driving cab and an underfloor engine transmission with multiple unit control. I'm going to knock that audio down. I'm sorry you're not going to hear much of the train, but it's the only way that you can do it without you guys losing your eardrums every time a train passes going the other way. The concept of the design is that each vehicle has a driving cab and an underfloor engine transmission with multiple unit control. Much of each vehicle flat load bed that can carry a combination of 10-foot and 20-foot modules that are secured using the locking system for ISO containers. Modules can be changed as required to suit current requirements. The pack brings the MPV and train simulator and was carefully constructed, consulting a network rail operator at every step along the way. The vehicle controls are accurate, as is single amber red ahead, as is its behaviour. The sounds of the pack were recorded professionally at a dedicated MPV recording session on a fine summer afternoon and provided courtesy of Lego Van Biffo in conjunction with Gold Star Trains. We hope you have as much enjoyment from this pack as we have had making it. Okay, so that's the introduction. But I'm gonna talk you through deliveries once we clear the next signal ahead there. At the moment, it's a good time to recording and train sim because there's about enough for me to get one video out a week, and I've actually got some content that's being pushed back further and further because I get new stuff that comes out that I want to get out. You know, you want to jump on that hype train. You know. Yeah, I'm going to delete that video actually. But yes, so like I say, red ahead there, so I'm just going to put my brake on now. So pointed out when you pull away, I'm actually going to bring us to a stand before this signal. Even actually, no, I think we've changed to a single amber, but I'm just going to bring us to a stand just so I can demonstrate this at this point. So I'll just wait for the train to come to a stand. Like I say, about that 2 range. So you can see when I neutralise the throttle. Oh, the guard's removed itself. No, there it is. You can see that guard drops, and I press the R key to raise it, and I raise it, and then I can rev the engine. So we're going to go for a standing start in full power to 60 miles an hour. Let's go! We are revving, I promise. Come on, come on, come on! There's 3. It just shows, like I say, performance on this unit's not the best, and whilst I'm not going to stand here and say it's got got the performance characteristics, in real life that are better than this. This just feels excruciatingly slow. Like, I don't understand how they use these to, there's news of a log trial that they did a log trial with these, where they were used to take log trains through Wales. How would you start this with a load on any sort of incline? I'm genuinely unsure. Now, interestingly, once you actually build that speed up, the train gets to 40, and it's actually pretty okay. I'm going to get 60 in the window. There's 65. So I'm going to get 60 in on the speed controller there, and then just control the let the train control itself from there. This is Southampton Freightliner's yard. Passing on the left-hand side there. Just got a cough. Do apologise for that. I have just lost the ability to breathe lately. So I've got 60 in the window, so I'm going to put the power back to about 30%. And I've got the 50 warning ahead. I do find this very difficult to understand when I'm in braking and when I'm just coasting the train. But a gentle application, you can see the tiniest amount of brake going in to get us down to 50. There we go, there's 50, and we'll round the curve, and then we can accelerate again. So yes, you can see the line diverges to the right, and that goes inland, and you get quite a few little bits of freight moves that come down there. So yeah, put the power back on and get going. So as I was saying, looking at the manual there, the liveries that come with the pack are Railtrack livery, Network Rail original livery, Network Rail refurbished livery, Network Rail refurbished and dirty livery, Network Rail Southwest Trains original, which is what I believe we have here. Actually, correction, this is the refurbished livery. So yeah, this is Network Rail Southwest Trains refurbished, and yeah, and the loco is known as Dick Preston. Dick Preston at Barely Newer, am I right? And there's also John Denyer, which is a pink one, and then there is Chris Lemon, which is the orange one. So they're all named, and Nigel Cummings, which is a grey MPV with the Southwest branding on it. There are 2. Oh, okay, so that kind of makes a bit more sense. So it gives you the list of the unit numbers and the various allocations that they hold. So I'm going to go full power now towards 60 miles an hour. So, manufacturer is Windhoff. They were built, entered service between 1996 and 1997. Number built, there were 18 single units and 32 doubles. Unit length is, for each of the vehicles, is 20.19 metres. Floor height is 1.13 to 1.18 metres. Maximum speed of 75 miles an hour with a 112 ton load. However, for us, 60 is our max speed. Although I've just hit 70 there, but because I wasn't paying attention, so it just does go to show these things will go quick. Weight is 121 long tons. They've got a Volvo Railpack engine, 6-cylinder, 6-speed mechanical transmission. It's a disc. These trains are disc braked, and their track gauge is the 4 foot 8.5 inch standard gauge of the UK Railway. So what I'm going to do is just set my throttle to about 77%, which seems to be a good power setting to have to go about 55. So driver controls. So we'll do a quick cab tour, really basic cab tour. So I've reduced my power quite heavily. So from top left to bottom right, you've got your GSMR, your CSR, and your NRN. Below that, you've got your TPWS, which isn't simulated. You've got the ability to test your TCA, which I believe is your track circuit actuator, which I'm not really sure how that is actually used. Your auxiliary drive, which is what controls your modules that you have on the back, but they're not obviously installed at the moment. You've got an emergency brake, which we're not going to use, and you've got your beeper and a standard horn there, and you can actually press both at once apparently. You've got your front screen heating, which doesn't really make a difference, your wipers, your sanders, your main reservoir pressure, your brake cylinder pressure, your radio, your option to change over radios from GSMR to CSR, because obviously there was a period when both were in use on the railway network. You've got your brake cylinder pressure below that, you've got your brake pipe pressure in the middle there, and you've got the speedometer on the right hand side. On the speedometer you've also got your DRA, and you've got your various fault indicators there that we can test as so. Your hazard warning lights, which will actually flash. And as you can see, the idea there is it's just an attention getter, and any train going the other way will put the emergency brakes on. AWS mushroom, cab lights, walkway lights, none of which would carry access to the middle of the day. Hill start button, constant speed. So that is actually a thing that works. Very interesting. So I'm going to put the power on and see if I can get it to constant speed. It's at like 58, 59, and go from there. But it's probably used more for slow speed moves. But hey, if it makes my life easier, I'm going to use it. So constant speed. Used to set constant speed of the unit when a desired speed is in reach and the throttle is engaged. Press this button to set the desired speed. The unit will now manage its throttle and brakes accordingly, usually setting around 1.1 to 2 miles an hour slower than the set speed. The main control desk, okay, so there's about 59, so there's constant speed. There you go. So we'll hold the brakes there, the power there. So get your emergency brake plunger above that. DSD reset. You've got a little rheostat there, so you can turn that from full dim on, so that's instrument lights off, that's instrument lights on full dim, that's full brightness. You've got your instrument light switch there, you've got your diesel engine start stop, we're going to leave them on, you've got your throttle, reverser, handbrake button, there's the DSD, battery on off, call tone, which will probably call the operator in a module. You've got your master key, and this is all your various operator controls, which we're not going to cover today as there's no modules on the back for us to use. As you can hear, as soon as you turn your head, the audio levels do increase, which I think is a little bit of a shame that it's, I'm not sure how realistic that is, if I'm entirely honest. So, yeah, like I say, scrolling through, you've got your operator controls, which like I say we'll cover in a separate video. It does have the standing at signal functionality, which I guess is quite cool, and the ability to turn the volume up and down, which I guess is always cool. You've got your ST button, which I'm not going to press, just standing at a signal. Right? No, it's G. It's sending a signal. My apologies. So yeah, that's simulated. So yeah, apart from that, it's just a nice cruise through the countryside in our unit today. There you go. So you've got another Voyager coming the other way. You can see you've got the windows open and close. So, and I've got to say with this, the radiator here, it's definitely, you can see it's a train of the late 90s, because like, fuck it, it's a radiator from the house, it'll do, put it in the train. So, yeah. It's got all the quick start controls. I'm going to cover so, MPV, what's that? MPVs are an essential bit of kit on the modern railways. They're literally a working cab built on a flatbed, allowing for combinations of working modules to be interlocked into the back of the flatbed. They come in semi-permanently coupled pairs, Unit 1 being the master and Unit 2 being the slave. Unit 2 is always numbered 50 more than Unit 1. Unit 1 is a powered vehicle across the entire MPV range, which are made up of Trans 1 and Trans 2 paired units. Trans 1 are a powered unit in a driving van trailer, non-powered unit, whereas Trans 2 are made of 2 powered units coupled together. Trans 2 literally have twice the power of Trans 1 arrangements and provided in response to Trans 1's variants being reported as underpowered in some instances. So fair enough, it's probably actually that I'm wrong and this thing's right. The main modules that feature in the pack are the auxiliary power unit, water tanks and jetter modules. The AP is a power generator for all kinds of kit and provides power to the operator's touchscreen interface, allowing the operator to control the modules from the cab. The water tanks are connected via to the jetter module to provide high pressure pump, HP pump, with a continuous supply of water. The jetter module also has its own Volvo rail pack engine to power the HP pump. In this pack, the APU water tanks and jetter module operations are simulated. All are controllable, and even the water tank level is available as a readout on the operator's touchscreen interface. Ooh, so alright, that is actually really cool. So there's the facility there to set up the my understanding of a skim read there is when you put modules on the back to set them to operate automatically, so like to simulate there's someone sitting next to you. That's very cool. I've actually saw that's great English going on right there, Emily. I actually saw an MPV in Newcastle recently, and it was a weed killer. So it had a weed killing train on the back, and there was like an enclosed cab about halfway down that an operator was sitting in with their feet up, working very hard. It's a 3-person job, folks. We promise. Sorry, I'm joking. But yeah, it is a fun little thing there. And like I say, though, yeah, it's a cool little train that we, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have feedback about, feedback on this, both positive and negative, and I've got to recognise the fact that at the end of the day, this is a train I've been talking about wanting for a while, because I really like on-track plan, I sort of refer to them as yellow trains. But your cranes, your ballast, anything that's got network rail branding on it, to me is actually quite a cool train. So I'm actually hitting you can't hear it, but I'm hitting the horn there, seeing if I can hear the train coming, and I can't. I'm going to check my game audio levels. Oh, so missed an AWS there somehow. Interesting, I do apologise. Well, you're going to see me reset the AWS, I guess. I'm not sure what I got AWS for there, because all the things we flew past were green. But hey, I must have tripped some sort of error into it. No, that is actually this. So yeah, so we come to bring the train to a stand, neutralise everything. And away we go. So we've got no speed penalty on this train, no timeout penalty. We'll just bring the train to a stand and we can get moving again. So this does allow the unit to be equipped with sandite, water tanks, the APU, the de-icer, Sandite on Unit 2, Water Jet Tank on Unit 2, and the Jetter unit on Unit 2. The 7 digits are like dip switches for the modules. 0 is always off, 1 is on and where the tanks are used, 1 or 2 is on being new style tanks, 2 being old style tanks. If no additional 7 digits are provided in setting the unit vehicle in the scenario, then the default combination is used for the vehicle, unless the configuration is set in the extra preload supplied in the pack. Okay, so there's actually quite a bit of power with this. So overall, reading the manual, I actually think this has the hallmarks of being a pretty cool little pack. We'll do a drive-by just for... It's quite cool. There's also a warning siren on it, which I'll trigger. I find that incredibly cool. As a child, I was like... You want to get someone's attention? Hit your siren on. Yeah. That's 59. And constant speed is set at 60. This looks like Brockenhurst. And that's the 159 on the Leamington Pier shuttle. The Leamington Pier shuttle is a service that shuttles from here at Brockenhurst down to Leamington Pier. So you'll see the turn off, and we've done it in a previous video, I do believe. If not, I will... hang on, I've covered it in a previous video, right? I have not. Wow. Okay. That's be one of my future videos then. But it's basically just a little branch line down there. Yeah, just redoing my video scheduling as we're doing this video. So I was supposed to release a Leeds to Morecambe run on the on-track Sims Cumbrian Coast. Hello, 444. Oh, Cumbrian Coast route, and sorry, today, and obviously this is coming out instead, so I'm going to push this video out instead of in its place. But yes, like I say, the overall I've really enjoyed this train. Like I say, when I first drove it was a bit frustrating and it was a bit difficult to get moving, but now I understand it. It is what it is, you know. It's designed to be a very simple train, and it does that very well. And yeah, overall I quite like it. It's a just one of those cool little bits on track plant that you don't normally see driving about. And yeah, like I say, overall pretty enjoyable little run out. So you can see that's us there, 6 Bravo 39. So that's the Leamington Pier branch, and we are just going to take the rest of the route here down to Bournemouth. So we started off up there, we've made it to here-ish, or actually about there. So about halfway there now. But we're also doing 60 miles an hour, so the next 13 miles should take about 14-15 minutes, which is about the time I need to leave the house at. Perfect. So I'm meeting up with my family in Morpeth. I need to check what time my train's going to leave, because I want to get there actually for do Morpeth at about today. I want to arrive about 15:35. No, 15:35. And then we'll do arrivals. So maybe stuck on a Lumo. Lol. Actually, we've got to take next episode on Transpantomime, so I'll go with them. Oh no, that's from Edinburgh to Southampton. Oops. So it's going to be Northern at 15:19. I need to be at the station. Yeah, I need to be dressed and leaving at 2 o'clock. So yeah, that's what I do when I'm bored. Uh-oh. There we go. Fixed it. So yeah, like I say, we're just going to do the... we are literally just going to do the drive to Bournemouth today. But yeah, like I say, the overall, I really enjoy driving this train. It's one of, we've got a couple of really good releases coming out in Train Sim lately. Of course, we've got the Armstrong Powerhouse / Wagons 87. That was pretty cool. And now we've got this as well to come with it, and this is really 2 weeks later to come out. And like I say, we're going to be arriving into when we arrive into Bournemouth, but in the next couple of minutes. But overall, like I say, this is a well done train. I just don't think it's worth £21.99. And I'm a believer in you charge what you think you should charge. But like I say, to me, just £21.99 is just a bit much. Maybe £15-16 probably would be a more appropriate price point for this one. But anyway, this is actually the last video I'm going to be doing from this desk as well, because I'm building a new desk when I get back. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to have like a work desk and a gaming desk, which would be nice. And then I'll be, it'll mean I can use my wheel properly and stuff, and actually have like a proper rigged setup, rather than what many times just feels very jerry-rigged. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, we'll just keep rocking and rolling, I guess. You can see we've got a jolt in the line there. We can go over that at 60 though, apparently. So let's do it. Just shows again like how the railway network is built sometimes to like go through other things, So yeah, you got your flags, you got your detonators, really lovely flags. Got a speaker for something. You got the noise when you turn your head around like this, when you look back. But you've got one of the cool things here is you can isolate your WSP system. Your TPWS isn't isolatable. Your DSD is isolatable. Your vigilance is isolatable. Your DRA can be isolated, and it is a nice contributing factor to have, And not a contributing factor, like just a nice extra thing to have. So yeah. Hello 450, how are you? I remember the last time I tried to do this in the 411 when I was just playing for my own entertainment. I brought my train to, like, I stopped in this station here, the name of which does escape me right now, and because it's on a slight hill I kept sliding back, and I was like, no, you will start on me, train, you will start. So I ended up like halfway out the station. Oh no, it wasn't this one, it was a different one. Must have been confused. But yeah, like I say, this is actually a nice run. It's a shame they didn't build the line through to Eastleigh. And I'd still probably quite like to see that as an extension, because I think Eastleigh works, would have added a ton of extra gameplay potential. But again, that's just me. Showing the map. About 3/4 of the way there now. But like I say, we can barrel into about this point here when we need to slow down. So we've got quite a while at speed still. So this is definitely the faster part of the run. Go, reset the AWS. So it's the DSD even. But like I say, at this point, this isn't a challenging drive at all. I'm running out of things to talk about, but overall, like I say, in conclusion, in the fullness of my opinion, like I said, this is a good train. It's a lot of potential in it in terms of what you can do. I don't think it's going to be a train you drive every day of the week, but it's something you can use to do stuff. So, and I think it's still pretty. Shut up. Enjoyable. Oh, 60 warning. Okay. I'll slow it down to 60 miles an hour. Not a speed we should ever exceed in this machine. But yeah, like I said, overall, it's a pretty enjoyable little model to drive this, and it's something that, like I say, in the words of Monty Python, it's, or to paraphrase Monty Python, it's something completely different to the norm, and every now and again, that's quite fun. I always hit Q then E because I'm not used to driving in train sim world where if you hit E you stand up, so you've got to do Q. '70 again. Feels like the unit's slowing down. That's because we're going up a hill and it's struggling to actually keep the speed going. So yeah, apart from that, I've had an okay week this week. it's been a bit stressy towards the end, but I'm putting an application in for a secondary role within my work, which will be fun if I got to do that. So we'll see. And it would mean some time away from the phones, which the rate I'm going at would not go amiss. And I used to be the person who's like, oh yeah, stick me on the phones. I love being on the phones. Phones, yeah, give me phone time. I love phone time. Yeah, I'll always take some phone time. Go for it. Hit me up. Give it me. Yeah, I've lost that. I've lost that will to live. No, it's just been a tough couple of weeks in the role that I do. It's been a tough couple of weeks in the role that I do because we've had a with everything that's been going on in rail, it's just not been fun. So I put the brake on, and we're going to get slowed down to 40, and we'll basically on this train we have to follow the slower speed limit. So I'm just going to slowly brake it down to that was slightly terrifying. My controls locked themselves for a second there. Engage constant speed at 39, and then we've got the 40 there. So again, we could probably, like I say, I'm not actually sure if these qualify as multiple units, but I do not believe they do, hence I'm at 40. Of course, I forgot to mention you do have your AWS Sunflower there. That was part of the capture, but if you didn't see that, then that's more of a you issue than a me issue, if I'm honest. I know that's definitely designed for, like, railhead treatment train blasting and stuff, but yeah, just felt kind of appropriate for the situation. So we'll put our brake on, get our speed down to 30, and just coast again. I say coast. No. There's 25 at the entrance to that tunnel, so I'll probably brake at the crossover again. There's 25, and this is Bournemouth Station. So I'm just going to keep my hand ready on the warning horn, because I have to give a cheeky little beep beep to someone. But we're stopping in the second platform area. So I'll take my speed set off and just coast the train in for this one. So it looks like the platforms are pretty empty because there's no trains in. So we're just going to be stopping, like I say, in this area here. So we'll stop at a Beam the Voyager unit. So this way we'll hop off and another crew will take over and shut us into the depot. But overall, that's a pretty enjoyable little outing for me. Like I say, I do enjoy the runs out that this game permits. A lot of interesting stuff to be done on it. So yeah. Any hoozle. We'll bring our train to a stand. So I'm just gonna do a quick cab shutdown. So what'll happen is reverse will go neutral. Throttle will be neutralised. Parking brake is applied. And the cab is shut down. And we can hop off. So yes, that was the first look video of the MPV. So overall, like I say, I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought in the description down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye bye.